Hi guys, my name's Art Miller and we are at the manufacturing facility for the RV airflow system, and we are going to go through an installation on a typical RV with our product. We wanted to cover some of the most commonly asked questions that we get, and then also we're going to go through an installation and we're going to get some before readings, some after readings, and then just address some of those nuances with our system and the reasons why and how it works. This is our anemometer. This is what we're going to use to get the CFM readings at every one of the vents throughout the RV. And then this is my decibel meter, and so this is going to tell us how loud that air conditioner is before, and then after we will go ahead and we'll take the same readings, the same measurements after the installation. The reason why our system works is it's all about transfer efficiency. Essentially what we're looking at doing is we're changing transfer efficiency. How efficiently can we move that cold air from point A to point B? Okay, so stock from the factory, that rooftop mounted air conditioner, that is blowing cold air straight down out of that air conditioner into a square box plenum. And once it hits that bottom baffle plate, it has to take a 90-degree turn to get out in your ductwork, where you lose volume and velocity. That 15,000 BTU air conditioner, that's equal to 500 CFMs of air. And so we've done a lot of testing at all the different OEMs and a lot of testing on aftermarket installations. And so really what we're finding is that you're only getting about 230 to 290 CFM on the inside of the actual RV. And so that's 50% transfer efficiency coming from that air conditioner. What we do is we take it straight from the AC and smoothly transition that into the ductwork, and that keeps the volume high and the velocity high. So effectively we can carry that same cold air further, faster. This is a Coleman kit, and this is a air diverter. So this is the RV airflow system, and this is the main part. This is where all the magic happens. Through transfer efficiency, we're able to keep the volume high and the velocity high, and that equals better cooling on the inside of your rig. And so if I'm able to deliver 40% more air, effectively we should be able to cool off your RV in about half the time. In addition to the increase in airflow, one of the benefits of our product is it's going to be about 3 to 5 decibels quieter than current. And so there's a lot of people that call in just about noise specific. Hey, I can't hear a conversation while we're in the kitchen or the main living area. Or I have to have the volume up all the way on my TV while I'm running my air conditioner. 3 to 5 decibels, when you say it like that, doesn't sound like a very big decrease, but essentially in the audible spectrum, how we perceive noise, noise is logarithmic. Every 3 decibels louder or 3 decibels quieter, we'll perceive that as being twice or half as loud. Lastly, one of the other features that we have on our system is this little ellipse on the underside of our kit. So stock from the factory, there's a divider on these Coleman air conditioners that basically has a 2/3 supply, 1/3 return. And so that divider relegates the air return to the front third of that filter. Whereas after you install our product, you have access to 100% of that filter. And so when you have access to 100% of the filter, the more air you have going across your evaporator coils, the more efficient your air conditioner can cool. Another one of the benefits of our kits and our systems is that on the inside of the air conditioner, sometimes people will say that, hey, my air conditioner is dripping water, or my air conditioner is crying. And so that happens because there is cold air supply, warm air return, and that creates condensation on the inside of the plenum. We see this in Florida, Mississippi, where we have a lot of humid and hot environments. It insulates itself from that warm and cold air, so then you don't have condensation happening on the inside of the plenum. So once we've ensured that we have really good seals on the inside of the plenum areas and we're not losing any air in the attic space, then we can go ahead and we can install our duct adapters, which we're going to have to use on this rig, and then we're also going to install our duct inserts. So specifically on this RV, we can address a lot of the questions that we get while the people are doing their installations. And so we are going to have to install what we call duct adapters into this RV. And then also we're going to have to trim our duct inserts. So this duct insert is a standard 1.5 by 7.5 inch duct insert. So this duct adapter, this seal, is also allowing outward pressure onto my kit, where we can ensure that we have a good soft seal onto our system and we're not going to lose any air. One of the things that my system does do is it does eliminate the quick cool feature on the cover plate of the air conditioner. And so this is what we call the air shower. And so once you do the installation on my system, it is going to make that inoperable. But what we are going to do is we are distributing all of that cold air throughout your ducted system so that we can cool off the ambient of your RV instead of just one area right underneath the AC. So what I'm looking to accomplish today is I'm going to get the static readings from the stock system. And so we're going to go through every vent and we're going to get a CFM reading from every one of the vents. And then once we add all those up, that's going to tell us how much air we are getting throughout the coach. I'm also going to get decibel readings right here underneath the air conditioner because that is the loudest part in the RV. And so that's going to be at ear level right below the AC. And so that'll give us a good baseline of where we're starting out with this RV. Then after that, we will go through the installation. We're going to pull down the cover, we're going to take down the mounting bracket, and probably the most important part for our purpose is I want to make sure that we have a good seal on the transition from the sidewall of the plenum going inside the ductwork. That allows us to ensure that there's no air leaking into the attic space where it's not going to do you any good. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop that cover underneath the air conditioner, and then we are going to remove the mounting bracket, and then we're going to check in each one of the corners, make sure that everything is nice and sealed up, because that seal, that HVAC tape, that is also creating a moisture barrier from the condensation that can happen on the inside of the plenum. So this is my decibel meter, and this is how I get how I'm checking the volume of this air conditioner. And so in this scenario, there are a lot of different variables. When you're in an RV, you can have a 10-foot high ceiling, a 12-foot high ceiling, you know, and in some areas like the bedroom, you're only about 7 feet high. And so that is a variable. In all my testing, I am the constant. I'm not getting any taller, and hopefully I'm not getting any shorter. But essentially what I do is I stand right underneath the air conditioner and I put the microphone right at my ear level. So right here we're reading at 67.3. So what I'm doing is I'm going through each one of the vents and I'm getting a CFM reading, where then we can get that baseline testing and then do the same test after and make that comparison. Now that we have our baseline testing done, we can see that we had 67.2 decibels underneath the air conditioner, and our total CFM rating for the RV was 294.6. So now that we're through with our baseline testing, we can see that our decibels before we were 67.2, and then our total CFM, as you add both of the left and the right and all the vents, we have 294.6 as our baseline testing. So now that we're done with our baseline testing, we can go ahead and move forward with the process. So once we've ensured that we have a really good seal from the sidewall of the plenum going into the ducting, then we can move forward with installing the duct inserts, and then we'll install our diverter, and then we'll get everything nice and buttoned up. I'm going to check and see if we have any air loss before I put the cover back on, and then we'll go back through and we'll do testing at every one of the vents, and we're going to look for what our percent change is, and then we'll also get decibel readings after the installation, and we'll see how we did. So we're going to go ahead and open up our kit, and we'll see what we have here. Okay, right off the top, we see that we do have special instructions, and basically this is telling you that we are going to have to add what we call a duct adapter to the bottom opening of that duct. And so that's going to build the sidewall of your plenum to match the sidewall of my kit. We also have did not fit instructions. So essentially, if you're going to do the installation and it does not fit, then these are the measurements that we just already went through that we're going to need, so then we know what we have to do to your kit, and we will send out a zero cost replacement and also include the return label for the original kit. On the back of the did not fit, it's going to talk about your duct inserts. Did your duct inserts not fit? We might have to trim them, or you might have to trim them while you're doing your installation. And then we do have our instructions. And so everything that we're going to go through here today, guys, is included on this instruction sheet. And it does give detailed step-by-step instructions on everything that you're really going to see while you're doing this installation. So included in the kit, we're going to see that we have 2 pieces of weather stripping. We have 6 feet of 3-inch HVAC seal tape. Just in case you have to do something to the sidewall of the plenum, we want to make sure that we have everything that you're going to need to do the installation inside our kit. Looks like these are our duct adapters that we're going to go ahead and install. We have our diverter. And then we have our duct inserts, along with a sticker if you want to put this outside with the rest of the manufacturer's stickers outside your door. So this kit is made specifically for this RV, so we did have to modify it. Out of the box, our kits are 79% compatible with all the RVs out on the road. It doesn't matter motorized or towable. But the other 21% we actually have to modify before we ship out. So when you order off of our website and you get to the checkout page, it's automatically going to ask you what your year, make, and model of RV is, so then we know exactly what we have to do to make sure and ensure it's going to fit first time. So that's everything that is included in the kit, and so we'll go ahead and we'll move forward with the installation. So I'm going to start by taking off the air filters and the air filter covers. One thing that you can kind of see when you take these off, and one of the complaints that I get from my customers, is that 2/3, 1/3 ratio. So really, it's about the front third that you're really getting the filter dirty, because that's the only part of the filter that's being utilized. Now we have our four screws. So this is what they call the air shower plate, and we are not going to reinstall this. So this is the air divider that comes stock from the factory, and this separates the air supply and the air return. A lot of the times these RVs, they go down the road, they hit bumps, and this thing can shake loose over time, fall forward or get cattywampus, and then you have your cold air going into your air return, which isn't good for your AC cooling. So these are the two parts that we are not going to reinstall when we go back to do reassembly. So this is what we call the mounting bracket, all right? And so this is what holds your air conditioner to the roof. Around the base of the air conditioner is a 1-inch gasket, and it's supposed to be torqued down to 20 to 30 inch-pounds or a 1/4 inch of compression. There's actually little indicator strips in the corners that tell you when you're fully compressed. Now that we have the plenum exposed, the three areas that I want to focus on is from the bottom of the air conditioner down to the upper opening of the duct, then how tall is your ducting, and then if there is, from the bottom opening of the duct down to the upper part of the mounting bracket. This is the part that my kit sits on. And so we'll go ahead and get our tape measure. And right now we're just going to get the top measurement. And so right now that is reading at 2 3/4. So the first measurement that we're going to take is above the duct to the bottom of the air conditioner. Okay? And so as I can see here, my measurement is 2 3/4. Then I'm going to focus on from the top of the mounting bracket to the upper opening of the duct. And that is reading 2 3/8. And as you can see in this scenario, we don't have anything from the bottom of the duct to the top of the mounting bracket. And so that is still information that we really want to know, because what we're going to do now is that tells us that we need to have a duct adapter, which we'll cover now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull the mounting bracket down. I'm just going to take all 4 of these lag bolts off. So now that we have everything exposed, we're going to go ahead and we're going to check each of the corners. And as I can see, I have a little bit of a gap here, and this is on the air return, so I am going to do a little bit of a seal tape here. But from the factory, they did a good job in ensuring that all the corners are sealed. This is a really smooth, clean install. As you can see, they have really good transitions from the sidewall of the plenum going into the ductwork. This is the mounting bracket that we see most of the time, and this is what was designed to work with my kit. Sometimes we see what we call a dog ear mounting bracket, where it is recessed in the corners. And so this makes my kit incompatible. I do keep these in stock here at my shop, and so if you do have a dog ear mounting bracket, then we need to know that so we can make sure that we send one of these out to you for your installation. So some people, they take measurements with their mounting bracket on. Some people take their measurements without their mounting bracket on. And we build our kits from the bottom up because the mounting bracket is a fixed point on that air conditioner in that plenum space. The variable is on top of the plenum, where that 1-inch gasket is around the base of the air conditioner. And so when you take your measurements, if you have your mounting bracket on or off, we do want to know that. that could change the top of the kit by a 1/4 inch, because we're looking for a 1/4 inch compression out of that 1 inch gasket. So these are our duct adapters. It's just a 1 inch by 1 inch by 7.5 inch long rectangle. And what that's going to do in this scenario is that does not match the side profile of my kit. So once we install that duct adapter on the sidewall, that is going to match the side profile of my kit. And so now we know that we have 1 inch on the bottom, 1.5 inches, and now we know that we have 2.75. So once again, the 3 segments that we're breaking this down into is from the upper opening of the duct to the bottom of the air conditioner, how tall is my ducting, and then from the bottom of the ducting down to the upper portion of the mounting bracket. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 6 feet of seal tape and we're going to utilize it to secure that duct adapter in its place. So I'm going to go under a little bit and I'm just going to flush it up on the side and wrap it over and behind. And then what I typically do is I'll go, once again, just a little bit over the front, over the top, down the back, and then I'm going to secure it into the bottom of that ducting. So now, as you can see, my duct insert is going to fit inside that opening. And so now if we look at before, this 2.5 inch opening in my 1.5 inch duct, you can see we're going to have some misalignment, which is why we include that duct adapter inside our kit. So now we have our duct adapters installed, we can go ahead and move forward with our duct inserts. And so in this scenario, this is 6 5/8 wide, and we know that this is 7.5 inches long. We are going to have to trim our duct insert. So as you see, there are 3 flange sides and 1 non-flange side. Option 1 would be to go ahead and trim it from the rear and making that 6 5/8 long for the insert. Or option 2, and what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take a pair of side snips and I'm going to cut a little notch out. And I'll do that right now. I do have my duct insert trimmed. As you can see, I chose option 2, which was just to trim it flush from the front instead of taking it from the rear. What this allows us to do is that we'll have 100% caption along the side of my kit. So now that we have our duct insert trimmed, I'm going to go ahead and take the seal. I'm going to peel it from the yellow side. And I'm going to go ahead and install it around the back of that flange, facing inwards to the duct. Some people ask me, why does one side have louvers and the other side doesn't? That's just per the mold, and so these have no purpose for our system at all. And so now I'm going to go ahead and peel my white, and we can install our duct insert. We'll go ahead and do the opposite side. So now that we have our duct inserts installed, we're going to go ahead and install this diverter basically at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to try and ride on these flanges as I install. So I'm just going to take it, and we're going to have an upward motion. Now I'm past my duct insert. Now we can go ahead and push it back, and we're going to rock it up. Okay. So now that we have our diverter installed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check and see if my bolt holes are aligned, because now I don't have a visual of if they are available. And as I can feel, it is right where it's supposed to be. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab 2 of my lag bolts and my mounting bracket. And I always do the front 2 first. And now we can go ahead and use the rear lag bolts. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply the tension. So we're looking for 20 to 30 inch-pounds of compression or a 1/4 inch. As I said before, there are little indicator strips in the 4 corners. And we're going to go ahead and use those visual indicators. So now our diverter is installed. We have our mounting bracket and we're at proper torque. We're going to go ahead and turn the air conditioner on, and I'm going to feel inside the corners just to see if I'm losing any air. I can feel air return going up on the back side of my hand, and I'm just checking to see if I can feel any on the front. So I can feel a little bit of air, cold air, coming back through the air return. So one thing I'm going to do that eliminates any question if we have any air loss is I'm going to take seal tape halfway on the side of my kit and halfway on the side of the plenum just to seal it up, and we'll do the same thing underneath. So now that I've ensured that we aren't spilling any of our cold air supply into our warm air return, now we can go ahead and finish putting the cover on. So now that we know our air shower is not going to work anymore, I'm going to go ahead and use some seal tape and just seal that up so that it doesn't bounce open as you're driving down the road. So now our air shower gates aren't going to open. So we're going to go ahead and reinstall our cover. As stated before, as you can see, now we have air return for 100% of this filter media. And that helps your air conditioner cool and cool more efficiently. We'll go ahead and we will install the filters and the filter cover. Okay, so now that we're done with our installation, now we can go ahead and move forward with comparison testing. So we're between 62.6 and 63.1. And before we were 67.2. So we'll just go ahead and put 63.1. And now we're going to go back through and we're going to get readings at every vent. 249.4 plus 218, so 468 from 294.6. So now we're going to find out what that percent change is. So we're going to go ahead and enter our before number, which was 294.6, and our after number, which was 468. And so that means that we had a 58.85% difference. We were 67.2, and afterwards we were 63.1, and so we had a decibel drop of 4.1 decibels. Now that we're done with the installation and we've gone through and we've done our after testing, we've done the comparison and we've run the numbers. This is our before readings and this is our after readings. We had an overall increase of percent change in air of 58.85%, which is a lot. And we had a decrease in decibels of 4.1 decibels. As I stated before, every 3 decibels louder or 3 decibels quieter, we'll perceive that as being twice or half as loud. And so effectively, we doubled your airflow and we halved the volume just by doing a simple RV airflow install. So as I said, not everybody is going to get the results that we just did here today, but you can pretty much bet that we're going to be between that 40% range. So if you guys do have any questions, please visit our website at rvairflow.com, or you can reach out to our customer service team and ask any questions you like. That's the RV airflow system, guys. Stay cool.